I was born in England, in Surrey. I lived there with my family for a little less than 2 years, and unfortunately, it was not long enough to obtain dual citizenship. As a child, I thought I remembered everything, even Stonehenge, and I always felt a strong connection with my homeland. Nevertheless, in 2022, I decided to go back to London for the first time and I had to apply for a passport, which would not have been necessary before Brexit. In my thesis, I attempted to investigate the deep reasons and early effects of the UK's exit from the European Union. In 1973, the United Kingdom joined the European Union without ever adhering to the Eurozone by showing from the beginning some reluctance to cede portions of sovereignty in favor of the realization of the European project. The European Coal and Steel Community, the true forerunner of the European Union, was established in 1951. The primary objective was the cooperation in the production of coal and steel, thereby exploiting the deposits between France and Germany. Furthermore, since steel was a key resource for producing war material, the agreement would have prevented any secret rearmament to prevent what Germany had managed to build between the First and the Second World Wars. In spite of the noble proposals, the United Kingdom rejected the project, not considering it in line with British interests, and showed already then to have a different agenda from the continent. With the Maastricht Treaty of 1992, the Union took on the name of European Union and began to pursue political rather than economic goals. From that moment on, European institutions became more powerful. These inevitably undermined national sovereignty. The feeling of loss of control and the high migration balance, not well accepted by the local population, fueled the common discontent that led to the 2016 referendum. It was only the beginning of the complex path leading to the UK's actual exit from the European Union on the 31st of January 2020. Over 3.5 years of negotiations were held and 4 British governments followed one another in order to get Brexit done. The Brexit phenomenon has generated considerable changes in the European balance of power, with repercussions in the political, legal, economic and social spheres. Considering the influence the United Kingdom wielded in the European Union, it can be said that it was not only the island of Her Majesty that suffered the consequences of this momentous gesture. The economic sphere has been one of the areas the Brexit affected the most, as well as one of the reasons underlying the withdrawal. Pro-Brexit politicians argued that Union's influence on national policies and consequently the United Kingdom's limited decision-making power in the economic sphere was unsustainable for the country, as the costs far outweighed the benefits. The first effect of Brexit in the economic sphere was the exit of the United Kingdom from the European single market. This has led to major changes in trade and customs deals and has completely changed the way European and British companies have to interface. While writing my thesis, I realized that barely 3 years after Brexit became effective, it can be difficult to take stock and judge it in a definitive way. A choice, the Brexit, which has been described by the media as risky and reckless, but which instead has very deep roots. At this time, the global scenario is far from serene, and crises such as the coronavirus pandemic and the conflict between Russia and Ukraine have strongly affected both Europe and the United Kingdom, severely distressing all the major economies and contributing to postponing the final impact assessment of an unprecedented choice such as Brexit. In such an atypical global context, it is impossible to expect any positive effects on the British people's welfare, as they will probably be visible with a few years or decades delay. In my opinion, the reasons being much deeper than the measured outcome of the referendum, and considering that despite the countless difficulties, the Brexit was still completed, Only time will tell whether the British will harvest the fruits sown by this historic decision.